welcome all of you to this webinar, which I'm sure will be very, very interesting. And it is very relevant to the subject that you've been looking for. Let me tell you, this is a part of the series of webinars that we have been doing over the last several quarters, which is in the line of technology, and especially now this one is on the security and file management. More on that from the key speakers, but let me quickly introduce the organization to you. So New Era is now 24 years in business, and from small steps to brick by brick, we have built a very successful organization. And let me tell you, over the last 7 to 8 years, it is absolutely on the steady growth path. Even after the COVID period, it was on a rapid growth path actually, and we are very pleased to say that this kind of a growth is all because of customers like you. And we really appreciate all the support that customers have been giving. But jumping to the slide which is on your screen right now, so there are four pillars on which we actually stand. Which you can see here as so. The first one is the real core business with which we really started. So if you look at the data center infrastructure solutions, the first pillar is exactly that. Whether it is servers and storage, whether it is connectivity, whether it is virtualization, and various platforms of virtualization and private clouds, is what we have been always doing. And the second one, within the cloud solutions, it is important that the on-premises private cloud has also been very, very prevalent over the last many years. And within that space, New Era is again a veteran. We have been into that space since almost, I think, November, December of 2016. And I'm talking about the instant setup of private clouds on premises. And then the same button, you can see that in the obviously the rest of the, if you look at any organization, everyone has a few works, instances on the cloud. And it is a hybrid or a mix of on-premises as well as cloud. And our team is absolute expert in migrating onto the cloud or migrating back to on-premises, which we call it as repatriation. And that is also now very prevalent because some customers believe that they should have the flexibility to bring the cloud back onto the premises, depending on what is their experience, what is the expenditure, and what is the long-term returns. The third one is on security, which is exactly part of the webinar today. Look at the second point, the data protection. This is exactly which is very very important topic we'll cover today. But the rest of it, in the cybersecurity space, if you look at the current scenario in my opening, LinkedIn quick video, also I was telling you that the ransomware attacks are really really rampant, and there is no organization which can be called as very very safe. People are doing investments, but it is better to invest more and more to secure your environment, to secure your entire business. So that is what we'll talk, and we are actually again very, very pleased to come over and speak to you more about these things. And we have a variety of technology solutions which can, I can't say they will completely eliminate the cyber threats or attacks, but we are going to be really important when we sit down and talk with you on this subject. The last one is very clear that it's not only the COVID times, but even much earlier than the COVID times, our organization has always believed that somebody should, every employee of large corporates should have the flexibility of working and operating from anywhere, and literally anywhere, whether they're at the airport, they're at the bus stop, they're at the residence, they're at the office. We have been providing, the secured work from home solution for a very long time. But I have to tell you that obviously from the COVID timeframe, it is much more prevalent, and our business has grown on that space. That's about the business focus that we have. We are always keen to meet you, in your office and talk about it. But yeah, okay. On the running video before the webinar started, you have seen the senior management of FileAgo. So on this screen, I'm showing you the senior management of New Era and CBY. So let me just spend 60 seconds on that subject. So New Era is a 24-year organization in this industry, correct? And CBY Services Private Limited, which is actually the one of the sponsors of today's event, is a 100% subsidiary of New Era Informatic Private Limited, and it is a pure services arm which has been built about 2.5, 3 years ago, more prevalent in the last 1.5 to 2 years. So this team is about the leadership team, of ours, which combines the founders. You can see Sandeep, Naresh, Dinesh, myself, Jacob, and Prakash is one of the speakers today. After me, he will come in. I'll introduce him to you. And of course, you can see the names as Samir, Bhavesh, Sanjay, and Hitesh. Now, pretty much clear that, the leadership team has been in the company for a very, very long time and very passionately running the company as a successful, profitable organization. And that's really a proud thing I want to share and leave with you. And I think that's really what I had. But again, I repeat that I'm always keen to come over with my team members to your respective offices and spend time with you, have a cup of coffee with you, and discuss business and technology with you. I'm always keen to do that. Thank you very much, and I think I will now move over to Prakash. Yeah, Prakash is there. The video is on. So Prakash, let me just spend 10, 20 seconds on introducing him. He's again a very experienced hand in IT industry, and he is a qualified CISO. And outside of that, he has a very varied experience of almost all the areas of IT infrastructure as well as IT services. He has implemented complex projects. He has done successful, experience with so many different technology vendors and OEMs. And happy to welcome him here. Prakash, welcome. Please take over from here, and I'm available throughout. You can, come back to me on that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Over to Prakash.
Thank you, Shankarji, and for your kind words. And so let's talk about the CBY services, the offering and the CBY services. As you are aware that CBY is, as Mr. Shankar has said, that CBY is the 100% subsidiary of New Era, and it's a service arm, and it has a mission to automation transform and focusing to the IT operations, smoothing with the cutting edge technology, AI driven solutions. So we provide all the end-to-end IT managed services to your operation. So the area which we covered in the IT service industry is currently this is the technology and the certified and the key resources is not available in the market. So we provide the remote manage monitoring and managed services to the all the IT industries or IT sectors where people want the expertise on their systems. Meanwhile, the same thing with the backup managed services. Nowadays, backup is a crucial area where the data protection is the key part of the IT operations. So we have expertise in the all the platform which currently running in the market. So we have a certified team members with us who help you to run your backup as a service or backup managed service. And we provide the managed services on site and offshore, both the areas. So we are experts. Large, you can say that we have more than 20 customers who use our services, and they are retail last so many years with us. And this is the CSAT I can say on the managed services. Data protection. Today we are going to talk much on this area where the FileAgo is the one of the key role playing nowadays. As you know that now DPDP Act also coming to the uh, very soon to the all IT requirement. So we will talk on much in this area. Cybersecurity definitely SIM, SOC, SOAR, endpoint protections, you name it. We are there to help you to run your cybersecurity as a service. And we have a cloud expertise. on AWS, Azure, on-premise, private clouds. As Mr. Shankar had said, that it is a repatriation as well as the migration journey. We help customer to reach out to their business requirement. So according to the requirement, we customize, we help customer. So that will help to run their operation very smoothly. So we have expertise on all these areas. You can reach out anytime for this. So let's invite Mr. Vimal for data protection as a FileAgo solution. So Mr. Vimal is invited on the screen. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this presentation on the topic of smart data management. My name is Vimal Kumar, and I'm the co-founder of FileAgo Software Private Limited. In this session, we'll discuss about how organizations generally plan on mitigating the security and privacy breaches in the crucial data, the loopholes in such methods, and how FileAgo can help in securing the organization data than never. We will begin with a couple of case studies so to cheer you up, so one of the first case study we have is a customer that is called Akams Pharma, a very famous brand in the pharmaceutical industry. This is what we have done for them. So they are a very large pharmaceutical company having multiple plants in several states in India, and they needed to consolidate their entire data in one centralized location with complete data protection and access control to be managed by the corporate IT. So we might we they had a requirement for 120 TB of centralized data. We were able to consolidate that with our deduplication technology that we have. We were able to bring down the total storage size to 30 TB, and that is one thing which reflects, duplication of data is everywhere. So they were able to have a lot of discourse gains when they centralized the data, along with several other, you know, several others advantages that they got. As you can see here, I will also take you through one more case study, which is a finance company named Ambit Finance. They were looking for a solution to track data access and modifications, and also facilitate sharing of data to their end users. So that was their pain area, to securely access the data and also make sure data leak does not happen even when they were sharing it with outside users, with their end customers. So earlier they were accessing the data through VPN and all. Currently, all those things we entirely took away once they switched to FileAgo, and we gave several other additional benefits like audit trails, data loss prevention, time-based external access. So these were the requirements that they specifically had, and we were able to sort them for that. Now, let's just deep dive into what are the current challenges that organizations face. Now, more or less, we have been able to categorize it into these particular points that you see. The first is the complex and fragmented infrastructure. Right? As companies expand into multiple locations and branches, secure data access becomes a challenge. So, what do? That's point number two. They usually offer easy but outdated and insecure data access technologies like FTP, SFTP servers, or sharing data via email. Now, when company who have already transitioned into some form of cloud storage, like S3, is also at risk due to their unstructured data. And oftentimes we see hackers gaining access to S3 buckets, right? It's very common, like due to negligence of the administrators or developers who are accidentally leaking the access key and secret key to the entire web. Like you could even find that in some GitHub repositories as well if you search enough. Similarly, having limited data monitoring and auditing can also put your corporate data at high risk. Lack of real-time data insights, data redundancy, and poor version control also ends up in eventual data loss for the organization. Now, when you're talking about security, we definitely have to talk about cyber security issues here. Malware attacks, ransomware attacks, etc., cause devastating damage to a company's reputation. We all know. As you can see, businesses lose substantial amount of money trying to deal with such situations. Right? Like, for example, the average cost of data breach in 2024, as you see on the screen, is estimated to be around $4.88 million. Now, another interesting study from Stanford University reveals that up to 88% of cybersecurity breaches are caused by human error. And last but not least, shadow IT risks are always a challenge because employees tend to use unauthorized tools to share the data, like sharing data through WhatsApp, Pinterest, and so on. Basically, any application that is not authorized by the company. Enforcing strict company policies is necessary to tackle this challenge. Right now, the trend which we have seen in most organizations attempting to tackle data security challenges is to deploy some sort of protection at the level, like implementing firewalls, intrusion detection and prevention system, endpoint DLP solutions, and so on. Whichever logo, like the logos that have been displayed on the screen, you might be familiar with because those are all the products which companies go and purchase in order to safeguard their data. Now, but what about the data for what about security for the data at rest? Right, that is often overlooked, or if I put it in a simple way, it is rather very complicated to achieve that when data is scattered across multiple locations. Now, setting data access policies is very easy when the organization is small, but as by time, as employees, locations, and the volume of data grows, it is often challenging to tackle, even for the best of IT teams in the world. And that directly, in turn, leads into security concerns like data leaks, insider threats, compliance failures, and ransomware. So, with that being said, let me introduce FileAgo, which is the software we'll be discussing here. FileAgo is a secure data management and collaboration software. It is a 100% Indian product built within India. It's strictly for B2B businesses. It offers flexible development deployment. So the application can be hosted on premise as well as on cloud. We have comprehensive collaboration, as you can see, seamless access, viewing, editing, and collaboration on sensitive data for both internal as well as external participants. We offer enterprise-grade security. So we are equipped with robust protocols and ensure data privacy and protection during internal access within the organization and external access. And we are also highly scalable and reliable. We can handle massive volumes of data effortlessly, as I have shown in the first case study. When it comes to data, we believe that there are five elements which should be controlled by an organization in order to have complete control over the data. So the five elements which we focus on mainly are data security, data privacy, data recovery, data monitoring, and data access control. As long as an organization have all these aspects covered, we believe that they have everything in place so that no data leak happens. We'll cover each in each slide. So currently, what is data security and how can FileAgo help you out? So as I said, FileAgo can be hosted on premise and on cloud, and it can also be a replacement for your existing file server, traditional file server. Instead of having servers in multiple locations, you can have one FileAgo server where everything can be managed at a centralized location. Now, every data that you upload into FileAgo that is encrypted using AES-256 GCM encryption. We have policies which prevent data leak and data loss. We also have password rotation and password protection. So when you're sharing any data, you can put in password protection, and you can also customize it, like rotate the password after each view or each download. All these kinds of functionalities also there. We also have support for multi-factor authentication. For security, we also block IPs if they try to attempt multiple login failures. We also give protection of data against malware and ransomware. So these are some of the functionalities, some of the features which FileAgo provides when it comes to data security. Talking about data privacy, we offer protection against insider threats. So As an administrator, you can precisely control which user or which particular group of users should have access on which particular data. It's not like a traditional file server where everyone can access every part they know of. That is not the case here. Whichever data has been allowed by the administrator, only those data will be accessible. But here there is another interesting aspect of FileAgo is that even the administrator is assigning the permissions, even admin cannot read any data unless he is giving allowing permission to himself. But all those activities get logged also. We'll come to that feature also later on. We also provide DRM and IRM functionalities, digital and information rights management. Like I said, when you're giving access, you can take away access also. So you can block users from accessing specific resources. Uh, it's highly flexible in that regard. You can precisely assign controls. We'll talk more on that also. We also allow encrypted internal and external access. So any data that you're sharing within the organization or to some external participant, all those data remains encrypted at the time of transfer or at the time of use. When it comes to data recovery, we allow disaster recovery. So even if you're, let's say there is a malware attack that happened in your organization and most of the networks or most of your Windows systems when were affected by it, we'd still be able to recover the data that is there on the FileAgo server. Now, there has been a use case for another customer where malware attack happened in their office. Almost everything got affected except the FileAgo server. And after that, they subscribed for one more FileAgo server in another location. Now, data versioning is another feature that we have. So any file that you update in FileAgo, you do not overwrite the file, you just create a new version of the file. So you can at any point in time recover a previous version of file and start using it again. We also have the feature of data deduplication. Uh, Actually, we have two levels of deduplication. One is file level and the other is block level. So if two users have exactly the same file, it will only be stored once. It will not be stored twice. So you can share the same file with 10 other people within FileAgo. And you can very well be assured that only one file is taking up the space in the hard disk in FileAgo server. Now, there is block level deduplication also, whereas here I talked about data versioning just ago. So if you're modifying an existing file and you just change some bits of it, you're not creating a new file altogether. You're just creating a version of the file with a small change. Only that changed blocks, only that is stored extra, not the entire file. So we provide deduplication functionality also. When it comes to data recovery, even if somebody is deleting any file, the file does not get deleted. There is a period up till which the file can be recovered. So it will still remain in trash. And even the administrator cannot empty the trash folder. So we do not provide that functionality to even administrators, which means that any data that gets deleted, there is a retention period till which that file will be available for restore. We track everything. Now that is because anything that is happening in the server that changes, that triggers a change in the system, FileAgo tracks it along with who is the person who did that change, which is the IP address, what activity did he do, date and time. Every activity is logged. So if somebody deleted a file, currently nobody will own up and say that yes, I'm the person who did it. But in FileAgo, you can simply go into the trash, figure out that file, check its audit logs, and you will see that okay, so and so person is the one who deleted this file. This functionality has come handy for a lot of our customers when users misplace files or outrightly deletes it and then acts like they do not know it. But with the audit logs, they have always been able to catch, whether knowingly or unknowingly, who is the person who did that. When it comes to data monitoring, again, the same feature, advanced audit logs, which I just said, everything gets logged and it is always available. Now, one cool feature we have in FileAgo is that the audit logs is never rotated. So if you have a FileAgo server which has been running for the past 5 years, you will be still be having access to every audit log that happened over that period. So that is very helpful when it comes to audits. We also provide customizable notifications, so you can precisely configure for what all kind of activities do you want to receive notifications. We also provides real-time suspicious activity alerts. If something is out of the ordinary, that is also possible to be defined and you get alerts. We also provide quota management. When it comes to data authorization control, this is one of our specialty. We have a combination of waterfall and granular permissions. This is a patent that we hold. So I'll be talking more about that in another slide. Then we also have controlled access permissions. You can precisely assign what permission do you want to give for a user on a resource. You can also block access. We provide them. Okay, there are two ways by which users access the data. One is through the web portal, and we also provide a network drive. Okay. So any permission that you are applying for a file or folder, it will apply in both. So suppose a user is accessing through browser or the network drive, the permission will apply. We also facilitate time-based internal and external access. For example, you can share a document with another person for the next 5 minutes only. After that, the share will disappear. All those functionalities are also available. Now, this was what I was talking about. FileAgo, we at present have two patents with us. One is related to workspace. As you can see in the image, the first guy is is working in his personal workspace, and in the here the person there are multiple people who are working in the group workspace. The big specialty of FileAgo. I believe you might be already familiar with waterfall permission. Like you are assigning a permission on a folder. Every item inside it will have the same set of permission. For example, let's take this particular example. You are saying Jessica's home folder, and there is a folder right under it called My Documents. Now Jessica gave Amir just read-only access, which means that every data within the My Documents folder, Amir will have read-only permission. Now, after that, she went inside that folder. There is a sales staff folder. There she gave access to sales group. Basically, everybody in the sales group can read, write, and delete. Okay. So Amir is also in the sales group, as you can see. So Amir will have read-only permission everywhere inside the My Documents folder, but just inside sales staff, he will get read, write, and delete permission also. Now, inside that, there is a client details folder where she wants Ashton to have only read permission. So she can assign that permission also. And inside that, there is another folder where she is assigning Sarah the read and write permission. So this flexibility of assigning exact permissions on folder structure as you go down is possible in FileAgo. Although the example here shows only folders, you can assign the same things on individual files also. And let's talk about a traditional data management setup. This is what we normally find in organization. They would be having multiple branches, let's say Gurgaon, Hyderabad, Chennai, Mumbai, Kolkata. Everybody has their own local storage server, and everything is connected through high-speed WAN. Some of the disadvantages here is that it has high operational costs, complex backup and security. Duplicate data will be everywhere. There will be syncing issues. Limited collaboration when people are moving from one branch to another. Also, centralized data auditing and reporting challenges will always be present. Now, but when such a company move into FileAgo, what happens is that there will be a centralized FileAgo server, and then every branch will be connecting to the centralized FileAgo server using high-speed WAN. So they no longer are relying on their local file storage, but they are directly connecting to the FileAgo server. This allows better data syncing. It eliminates the duplicate data because all data is going there in the FileAgo server, and it is able to process which is duplicate and only keep the uh, non-duplicate data in its data store. It also provides improved version control, most importantly, efficient permission management. So you already have now one panel where you are assigning the permission for each user in files and folders. FileAgo also support AD LDAP integration, so it is possible to do that. Efficient backup and disaster recovery, simplified auditing and compliance. Obviously, when you need to audit, you only have to audit one server now, not the entire location. And also enhance security and access controls. Some of the features of FileAgo, which might be already covered, but still I would just show it here. FileAgo, it's offering multiple solutions in one powerful platform. We provide data leak, data loss prevention, on-premise and on-cloud installations, DRM and IRM functionalities, data access control, as we have seen, data recovery, data encryption, data versioning, two-factor authentication. We provide a network drive functionality so users can access their data, workspace, both group and personal. Yeah, you can clearly define the quota users should have. Deduplication is a functionality. We also allow CAD viewing, annotation, and collaboration on the web portal. There's also data sync functionality which we allow. And there is a video, audio, conferencing, and chat, specifically for internal or organization purpose. Recently, we introduced a new version, FileAgo version 3, where we had a completely, where we completely, we wrote UI from scratch, and that provided some additional functionalities like upload, drag and drop. We also provide view links. We also provide enhanced security and folder locking. So this was an idea that customers used to come up with. So administrators can create a folder structure and they can lock the folder structure so that nobody can rename the folders and so on. So we came up with the implementation and several other features which you can definitely read through. And several other features are also in the pipeline where we already have a mobile application, but we are currently on the path of updating the code base. We'll be coming up with workflow functionalities, digital signatures, and virtual data room very soon. We'll also be implementing FileAgo server on a cluster. There will also be additional functionalities like data analytics and dashboard, a more efficient threat detection and prevention, and also data sync agent. So all these functionalities are currently in progress and we worked on. This is some of the statistics which FileAgo at present has. The market for data, data management is huge. Some of the studies that we have conducted, we feel that it is more than 15 billion plus as market opportunity. At present, we have 6 customers. We have 30 partners in India. We have 50,000 and plus business users. As of now, we have secured more than 4 billion of files, and our customer retention every year has been 99%. Recently, we got a few recognition from. First of all, on the left-hand side, you can see that we were honored at the Friends of Mumbai Award conclave. Just 2024, we were honored to be the best data management and collaboration software by the Honorable Chief Minister of Maharashtra. 2025, we started with a bang. We won the best data protection solution at CIA Choice Awards. So that was something very special. Just to highlight some of the customers we currently cater to, as you can see, pharma, BFSI, hospitality, entertainment, HR, manufacture, infra. FileAgo is a general purpose product. It's not specific to a particular sector. So it will see its value in any kind of industry that you may belong to. I'm sure you would be recognizing some of the logos here. One more, screen of the same. We have global presence. We have been expanding rapidly. So we started with India, but we have expanded to UAE, South Korea, Sweden, Germany, UK, and US. We have bases in most of these places, as well as operations and working partners. Thank you.